Welcome to the No Fame Podcast, Null Shore, Episode 24, Subject 7. We have a few exciting announcements to make. First and foremost is that today, the day this podcast is released, February 7th, 2022, we will be having a live Session 0 over on our Twitch for our return to the Purdue Galaxy in The Lost Frontier, Chapter 2, Suede Runner. Yep, Suede Runner. You can tune in at twitch.tv/nofamepod at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch the VOD on our YouTube, of course. Also, at the conclusion of Null Shore, we'll be moving on to a mid-level high fantasy campaign DM'd by our very own Sinéad Marguerite titled Tall, Tall Tower. We've already had our Session 0 for this campaign, and I am unbelievably stoked for it. And, lastly, something we've been talking about and working on behind the scenes for a while now, we will soon have our very own merch. I know, gasps abound. T-shirts and stickers and mugs, oh my. Be sure to follow our social media to keep up on announcements of the launch. Now, let's get into this episode of Null Shore. Last session, like it didn't happen 20 minutes ago, you all kind of started exploring the facility a little bit. You found a row of rooms called subject rooms inside of this facility, where one, Subject 7's glass was shattered out of this viewing window up near the back and into this kind of observation room where apparently some scientists were making notes and observing these subjects that were all in these little self-contained rooms. It seems like the subjects weren't ever given names. They weren't referred to with names. They never met another subject. Any of the scientists never referred to themselves or anyone else with any kind of name. And then Subject 7 seemed to be one of the experiments with something called Discovery A, where they're infusing Subject 7 with something from Discovery A, where Subject 7 started to kind of start thinking a little bit more independently and come up with concepts that were not introduced to Subject 7. It seemed like they were coming up with these things, like they knew about them somehow from somewhere else, and the scientists couldn't really figure it out. And then Subject 7 vanished, and that's kind of where the notes end, but the observation room has shattered glass, huge claw marks along the wall. Ben found a little medical room down the main hallway, along with a refraction chamber, which a huge steel door with like rivets, like a huge iron rivets and plates against it. Another set of doors with the east wing, but you guys stopped into the medical area where there was a little filing cabinet and a shattered glass cabinet containing some Xeropropine. Call your doctor about Xeropropine today.
Side effects include.
I'm not going to record that. Speed it up. Fuck no.
Just go back and edit in you just listing off words from a dictionary.
That's what I mean. I don't want to do that. I'll find one. I'll paste it in. Fuck it. Chad kind of took a vial of that, and him and Ed kind of pondered it for a bit, but couldn't make heads or tails about it. While Ben and Paige and Anne flipped up this filing cabinet, and it seemed like a list of residents of Null Shore immunizations from the late 70s to 94, 95 were the kind of the final cut-off names on this list here. Ben found his mother's name on the list, a few people he knew, his tattoo artist, who got gravely ill as a kid, and then went away for a few weeks to the doctor, to the hospital, and came back perfectly fine. And we pick up back in Phoenix Logistics' old facility in the medical room. Ben kind of propped up on a little gurney type thing as he's flipping through these pages. Yeah,
I'm gonna read my mother's to see if she was sick when she was a kid. I don't know if she told me about being sick as a kid.
I'll leave that completely up to you, but her name is on this list, kind of near the tail end of the 80s, as an immunization boost that she received, according to this.
Okay, and I will read the third one that I found to see if they were sick as a kid.
It was a kind of like the injections you get when you're a baby, like those whatever babies get. What do babies get? They get injections. Patrick, go to the future and come back and let me know.
Baby boosters.
Yeah, I'll let you know in a few months.
It's just inoculations. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
more vaccines and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah. So they snuck some stuff in with the vaccines.
They're childhood vaccines that were received in.
And does it keep track of them throughout their life, or is it literally just like a medical record?
No, that's one of the final ones. Yeah, it's dated in. It's not alphabetical. It's by date, and that's one of the last.
Okay. And what's their birth? What is their birth date?
It's a great question. I don't know. It's the last one on the list.
All right, I'll just sing it across the room. Anne, when's your birthday?
Oh yeah, April 4th for sure.
Oh, okay. I think this is yours.
You sure it's
and
not
I'm just
April
gonna,
20th?
hand the file
that's
across to her.
Irene's.
Yeah, that is Irene's. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Does Ben look sad?
Does Ben look sad?
Yeah, from reading all these things. Or like disheartened.
Nah, the only sadness
Morbid
would
curiosity.
be. Yeah, the only sadness would be just kind of thinking about his mom, trying to remember. So yeah, he does look a little sad, but
Chad hands
Yeah,
you an
no.
open beer.
And you see your name at one of the last names on these lists of inoculations.
Okay,
so
I'm obviously gonna go for it and dig it out.
That's all. It's it's got like your health, your
okay,
MCP on it, and is that a thing outside New? Yeah, no, your health card,
Yes.
whatever.
MSI in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, sure. Your government issued
Yeah.
Null Shore NSI or Null Shore whatever NCP. There we go. It's got your health card number and like your birth date and the date that you were received this inoculation.
Can I ask Paige to see if she thinks I have weird magic in my blood?
Paige looks at you and she's like, I think that's
You've
Yes.
got ghosts in your blood. You should take some cocaine for that.
Chad holds up the bag.
Paige looks at you. She's like,
Oh, it's powdered now.
you did shoot lightning not that long ago.
Oh, I meant different. Okay.
I mean,
that's
I could
fair.
do some
That's
kind of
fair.
detect magic-y type.
No, that was. It's been a while. This date, I assume, is from when I was like a small child.
Yeah, you were like a baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Anne, are you getting the vapors?
Yeah, you got your smelling salts, Ed?
Nope, not down here. Too dangerous. Too much asbestos.
He's not sniffing down here.
Ed is doing very controlled, slow breaths. Not kicking up any dust.
Oh fuck.
Although, and something else to point out that Ben would have noticed, especially as the house hippo, but now that you guys have moved further inwards, let's say, that slow kind of humming vibration feels a little bit stronger. This, like you can kind of feel like you're
Direction?
fucking 1,000 feet away from a concert or something, like that low end kind of.
Ah.
I completely forgot about the vibration. I knew there was something else I wanted to do in this fucking room.
But like in
Okay.
general, it doesn't seem anywhere particular in this room. Like, and if you walk around, it's the same. You know what I mean? There's no
Okay.
generator
Okay.
inside of this room doing it. It's just like that slight. If you stop and like you guys are talking and you're kind of looking over the charts and discussing these, and then when you all kind of stop for a second, you just kind of feel that.
Okay.
So the university I went to had a particle accelerator. You think that might be what this little vibration thing is?
Yes.
The Chad
Sure.
I
voice.
don't
check out
speak
that room.
Latin, Chad.
Yeah. It's a science thing. Don't worry about it.
The
You seem pretty like
Particulus acceleramus.
They're trying to find the
Yeah.
Chad particle.
Well, don't accelerate
Yeah.
no particles around here because they're asbestos.
My favorite part of that joke was that you couldn't make it to the end of it.
An episode of this, the title of one of these episodes is going to be like, there's asbestos in the middle. It's like,
We found out what the mine is. It's an asbestos mine.
asbestos mine.
Yeah.
It's not snow out there. It's asbestos. Ben looks a little bit despondent, I guess, over the news, and Anne, your name is on that list at the very end, one of the very last names. In fact, Evans is probably down there too. Your tattoo artist, he's probably pretty on the younger side, I would imagine. Ben,
We were the same age.
So you're like
That's
30
what
off, right?
I asked what year. Yeah, I'd be 35.
Yeah.
34.
okay, well, he's up a little bit further than on that list, but
I'll tell you how old I am. I forget what I put his age as. Oh, 33.
1988.
88.
Oh, I was gonna have a look at those vials that Chad had as well.
Yes, that was the end of that last session. Yeah, let's do a medicine check on that.
Medicine? Oh, that is Paige, not me.
Is Paige trained in medicine? If she's trained, she can give you advantage. I can't remember if she's trained or not.
She is actually.
Hey,
Isn't that handy? Okay. Like I need it. We'll see. Oh shit. Natural 20
fuck yeah.
for a 27.
Ooh, amazing. It doesn't look like any medicine you're aware of. Like you're awfully observant when it comes to that. Like anytime you've gone to the doctor and stuff like that, you don't remember ever getting injected with this because you were way too young. But you
Yeah.
and Paige start to put the pieces together. And Paige is like, give me a second here, and she kind of like, for kind of fields out like a detect magic kind of without a low end detect magic without taking the whole fucking 10 minutes to cast the ritual spell or whatever. And she looks at this with you there, and you're both kind of trying to figure this out. And she's like, I think I'm sensing a bit of the Sixth Arcana from inside of this vial. Like something that they've taken from this is from there somehow. They must have been using this medicine in combination with something they discovered, something they found, maybe.
That's what I was afraid of. Okay. Do you think that having a town full of people who already have it in them would make it easier for the Sixth Arcana to break through and crash into the town or whatever through the barrier?
Anchor points.
Very well. I mean, it's got something on this end to reach out to, I suppose, in theory, that could be entirely possible. Yeah.
Fuck.
Maybe we need a blood purifier? Oh god, I don't know.
We used a lot
I
of
have
leeches.
to get some bloodletting on the go, some leeches.
We get some leeches, yes. We used a lot of leeches. Cured everything. Wonderful. I mean, we used magic,
Don't-
of course, but
Leeches and cocaine, man.
Me and my sisters never
Little bit of
bothered with
snake
the
oil.
leeches. We told other people to go get the leeches, and they would.
How charming would we have to be to go to the hospital and get a
Ooh,
dialysis or something, like a
I can do
transfusion?
that. I can be
Macaroni's all
I can
day.
be charming.
So the past couple episodes, you guys spent an afternoon watching The Lost Frontier, and now you're going to go to the hospital and get fucking blood
Get a blood
transfusions.
transfusion.
Welcome to D&D.
Quality content.
It's a modern campaign, man.
Yeah, it's very modern, of course.
Join us next time when we file our taxes.
Yeah,
Sponsor us, TurboTax.
Merch is good.
Where do I put in gold found in dungeons on this form?
Yeah,
I believe that's a T21
it's a D,
C,
a D21, a D20,
a D21,
a D20D is what that form is called.
a D21. Yeah, AD 100%. AG for gold.
Hey, that's Latin.
Shut up, Chad.
Arg.
Nobody speaks Latin. It's a made-up language.
All languages are made up.
Oh,
Whoa,
God,
dude.
Asbestos insane.
Here's a beer.
Asbestos is getting to me.
All right, I'm gonna go into the refractory chamber.
Whoa, I wanted to do that.
Look out for the asbestos.
Yeah, you guys walk out of the medical area, still with this horrifically dim, orangey, reddish lights that are flickering. You guys walk out to the main hallway again. The refraction chamber is kind of close to medical, maybe on purpose. And then further down is the east wing. The two heavy, again, steel doors. There's a punch pad there with like a little slot for like a card swipe type situation.
Good.
Got like big handles and shit on it.
Swipe.
Oh, we have don't we have Dexter's card?
Oh, you know what? There are two there are little windows on each of these doors as well.
I will look through the window before I say swipe.
Yeah, give me a perception check as you're kind of looking through the
I will be swiping the card as he's looking through the window.
Guidance.
Yeah.
Rolled a 1
Swipe.
on my 4 and a 2 on my 20.
nice
So 11.
11. Oh, Jesus. Actually turned out all right. Incredibly dark in there. It's hard to make out any details. It looks, you see a bunch of like hanging cable, like thick, shit, I should know the term for this. It's not a cable tray that runs through a ceiling, but like one of those huge fucking pipes that hold a bunch of cables, whatever those are called.
Conduit?
Conduit.
Conduit?
We found it. Amazing. Why? I don't know that. Who knows? I should know it. Yeah, you see a bunch of those hanging down with like loose cables, wires. You see some old CRT monitors hanging up in like one huge kind of screen that was like, looks like it's probably the height of technology for that era. Hard to make out much else as it's so fucking dim in there. You see there is like it's a large room, like it goes up probably 30, 40 feet or something like that. Swiping the card does nothing, by the way.
I'll tap it.
Damn.
Oh, you got to it's one of the taps, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tapping doesn't work.
I will try 6969 as the pin.
It nothing.
Dale.
Yeah, it all comes together. No. It's not 6969.
685.
Did I even say there's a keypad? I don't think there's no keypad.
No.
You said there was a keypad.
No, I said there's a little slot for
He's a swipe card.
a swipe card. Yeah.
Ben just
Or
found
a punch
a
pad.
calculator on the floor. And
If I did
I
say
swear
there's a
you
punch,
said there was a punch pad.
if I did, I was wrong. It's just the fucking card slot thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
um,
I don't want to sit here for 20 minutes guessing fucking numbers.
can we just like haul the door open?
Yeah, can we brute force it?
If you guys want to do a strength check, if someone wants to help someone else, however you want to do it. Tall dog.
So let me check my.
Yo. I'll help.
Oh, right. I have guns. We can shoot it.
Do we have?
Yeah.
Works in the movies. Seen that Kanan guy do it in that Last Frontier movie.
Yeah, he shot the doorknob off of that fucking sliding door that one time.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? There's no doorknobs in space.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? I don't exist.
Why the fuck do I have lockpicks then?
Is it just asbestos on the ground?
Yeah, it's
or
like
is
that.
it like broken earth or anything?
It's still that tile shit.
Okay, so are the tiles made of asbestos? Because I should be able to mold those in theory.
What's linoleum made out? Whatever linoleum is, that's what it is.
It's made out
Fucking
of
plastic, man.
Yeah. Who's making a check to get this door to try to do something with this door?
mean, I can
I
always
can do a
blast
strength
it.
check. I was just going to do
Yeah.
mold earth to kind of like shift
Jam
it a
the
little
door.
bit.
If you want to
Jam
give
it
me
up a
like
little
a
bit.
spell attack, take the bend.
Are they half-barrel piston hinges that I can lever off, like Will in Pirates of the Caribbean?
They open inwards, so the hinges are not out.
Well, that seems.
Am I just doing a spell attack?
Yes.
21.
21. You go and try to mold this earth, but it seems like the concrete that's underneath these tiles and stuff like that is a little bit too thick to try and use. Is mold earth?
Right.
That's a cantrip, right?
It's a cantrip. Yeah, I'm not wasting anything yet.
Yeah.
I got a feeling this creepy fucking place is gonna
21 was
come at us
Yeah, that's
not
hard
quite
and fast.
enough to do much to these Steely boys. Steely Dans.
All right, do you want to? Yeah, let's attempt a strength check.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can throw a couple shoulders into it.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
pat,
Is it push or pull?
Push.
Push.
whoever's
can we all
helming
just
this, I'll
try and
give them
shoulder
a
it?
pat on the back, give them guidance.
Yeah, let's make this a group check. Everyone roll a strength check as you like rush the
Okay.
door.
I'm giving them self-guidance.
Strength or acrobatics?
Not
Is
acrobatics.
it athletics or just straight strength?
Athletics, I'll accept. Yeah, athletics is fine. That's fine.
Oh, it's just fuck.
Oh.
16.
14.
19.
14, 19. What did Anne get?
That one.
Oh, what a page. Did Paige want to roll for Paige?
6.
6.
And clip the door frame.
Paige doesn't know what's happening, so she just kind of Ed trips before you guys reach the door.
She trips 3 feet before and just like face plants into
And
it.
then Paige is helping Anne up. She's like, "Oh, I got you. Here we go."
Her
She's
neck's
like
all cricked.
dusting you off all the asbestos.
Leave
The
her.
mountain
She's
is
gone
full of
already.
embarrassments.
That close to the asbestos, there's no saving
the
her.
Yeah.
three gents bring up solid on these steel doors, and they don't fucking budge. Well below
Doors.
the average was well
I'm
below.
imagining someone who has no idea what asbestos is listening to this and be like, holy fuck, I gotta Google this.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm over the refraction room.
But refraction could be cool.
Did you say there's
Listen,
windows?
when he first said
Yeah,
refraction room, I thought refractory room, and I've been thinking post-coital room for the longest time. And I'm over it now that I realize that's not what it is.
I have a multi-purpose tool. Is there like
Yeah, break
something
out
I
the
could?
sledgehammer off your fucking Leatherman.
I was about to say, your Leatherman, your Skell Tool DX.
Is there like something I could try and jimmy behind the pad or any
Yeah,
the swiping bit
corkscrew.
or anything?
Y-
Is there like
yeah. Do
Fire off
I don't know
the
if you
wall or
have sleight of hand, or if you want to do investigation, one of those would be appropriate. Yeah.
Can I assist and I'll hand her like my thieves' tools or something?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
can I do sleight of hand?
Yeah,
Is
if you
that
want.
an option?
Yeah,
Okay.
with advantage, with
Oh.
Ed's help.
Dear Christ. That's a 7.
With
A 7
advantage?
with advantage.
Yes. I
Um,
rolled a 3 and a 5.
you know what? I'll save you the trouble. You do you all the trouble, not just Anne. You do manage to pop this off with Ed's help. The front panel. It seems like maybe they have frequent maintenance or something on it. And Ed, you kind of poke one of the wires with one of your tools, and it doesn't spark or anything like that. It seems like all the connections are dead.
Oh, the juice is down.
And Ben, you hear like this weird kind of almost like an air impact noise, sort of. No longer like this.
Turn around immediately.
There's
look in the direction.
Nothing around you. It seems either from inside of that chamber or it was in the opposite direction from medical, so towards East Wing, towards that chamber, somewhere in that zone is kind of where your passive perception, you just like perk up and hear that. I suppose
right,
Anne's passive is pretty good too, so she probably would have heard that.
I'm gonna flame on my hands and illuminate the space a little bit better and head over.
Yeah, you really light up, and now you can see like kind of. I mean, it's I suppose still like this orangey glow, but you really illuminate that whole area.
I realized immediately after lighting up my hands that I have a giant mag light on my hip, but I'm committing to this.
You kind of walk up to these the East Wing doors. Again, these most of these doors have windows on them, and you kind of see it's a slow spiral up and kind of like to the left. It looks like it's hugging this refraction room at some point. You see some doors like off right before it turns a corner. You see a set of doors up there.
Chad,
What's up?
you want to come up the stairs with me? I think
Fuck
this
yeah.
takes us up top.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm always down to go upstairs.
Sweet. Let's go.
Sorry.
Fucking
Here, you
love
want to hold
cardio,
this? And I
man.
hand him a globule of fire.
No, Chad like waves it off. He's like, "Don't worry." He pulls out his backup Zippo lighter because he threw the other one into the oil.
Right.
Oh, God.
Ed watches them doing this and just puts on his fucking headlamp.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, gotta have a headlamp. You guys go through the door. These doors aren't locked, but you do have to like open them. They've got like a doorknob on each one.
I did hear something also over here. That's kind of why I needed at least one other person to join me.
Ed, Anne, and Paige. Let's Ed and Anne. Are you guys sticking around that area, or what are you doing? As they
All right, Anne.
walk off.
Looks like you're pretty fucking shit at this.
Must be that vaccine she got years ago.
Can I just look around and see if there's like a metal bar around anywhere? Something to use as a pry bar in between the doors?
Yeah, you know what? You probably would have seen one of the cots back in the medical room. You could probably break that up.
Oh, yeah, like the rails, side rails on gurneys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go grab one of them and come back and try and wedge the door open.
I keep saying gurney. I think it's just a hospital bed.
Yeah, I don't know. My mind keeps going to gurney as well, and that's what I'm going to go with. whatever the.
I think the gurneys are like the ones that kind of go into the back of the ambulance. And shit.
Yeah, but these ones are on wheels.
I just keep thinking on hurdy-gurdies.
To those.
Those will still be
Just
hospital
the same
beds.
thing at all.
These are on wheels too, so I don't know. I'm not sure.
They'd still be hospital beds on wheels.
Okay. The more we know. How about this? You break off one of these steel rails, because everything was made out of fucking heavy steel back then. And,
no, it's
Steel
just
and asbestos.
it's chromed asbestos.
Yeah, chromed asbestos.
Hey, it's fireproof. We can't have these people burning to death.
100%. You guys have no idea how many times I've tried to cast the heat metal spell in here and nothing works.
Yeah. I'll give you a +5 using that bar if you want to make a check to get in again.
All right. And help me out here.
All right.
Are you doing an athletics or are you guiding?
I did a strength check and I got a natural 20.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So with a +5, that's 26.
Yeah. The standing DC was 25 in general to do something with this door. You actually do, with the help of Anne and Paige, is just kind of like, I don't know what's going on. So you guys are like prying these doors apart ever so barely. You kind of go where the where you think they latch together, and you kind of start there, and you actually make it so Anne can actually push them apart with enough force that you're applying with that bar, and the two doors like echo out inside of this refraction room. Again, it's now that the doors are open, there's some light kind of pouring in. Ben has gone around the corner through the doors with Chad, so his like flame. Oh, Ed's got his head lamp, right? So, Ed, you're kind of like looking around. In the center of this chamber is like this huge circular kind of pedestal. It's made out of steel as well. You see some loose cables that have been like unplugged a while ago, and there's 4 clamps like on metal arms, and these 2 clamps at the bottom, and then more metal arms and 2 clamps at the top. They're not holding anything. It's just like this huge area in the center of this room that's, like alligator clips. Yeah.
Where the fuck are you getting these props? He just says a random fucking thing,
right?
And pull it out.
Patrick is training to become
Mr. Dressup's tickle trunk over here.
Yeah, he's becoming a sketch
Holy
artist.
Fuck.
They're not real. That's why he's got the green screen in the background. He's just putting them in.
Yeah. It's all CGI.
A gold-plated 38 revolver.
We had one sponsor in our fucking. We blew our budget on 3D effects.
We blew our budget on fucking alligator clips. Clipboards.
There's a bunch of desks like kind of surrounding this area, as if like researchers would be observing something in the center here. A ton of CRT monitors hanging around in a circle as well. Most likely they would be monitoring things on these screens. A ton of, let me make sure I'm not missing something. Boo, 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 boo.
Just a ton of raw, unprocessed asbestos.
So much. Sign, you look over your shoulder, Asbestos Chamber. The chamber itself appears to be like ransacked, or more likely that the equipment was disconnected and moved elsewhere with very little regard for how the chamber was actually looking. There's a metal walkway that circles above various stations and tables for observation as well. Down where you are, it looks like plenty of machines and devices were once set up here. Various CRT monitors. Surrounding this large kind of holding device that's in the center. Various chairs kind of like very close by. These kind of like, you could like, they're laid out like a body. There's a torso area and like places to lay your arms and a place to rest your head and like where your legs go. They're all like, they've got straps. And then it looks like something that would like mount to the headrest is above. But they're all disconnected. You see like loose cables everywhere. And there are a few of these around this kind of circular device in the center.
From the observation window up top, we're banging on the glass and we're like, you should lay down in it.
Let's go there because that's funny. There is actually some windows up there, but you guys are like walking through, Ben and Chad, you guys are walking through this, again, kind of slowly sloping ramp of a hallway that goes up around this chamber. You see a few more doors here. You see R&D labeled on one. You see a maintenance door. It looks kind of like a grubby door. Not a grubby door. It looks like a... Hey, Grubby. He's listening, I'm sure. Just like for some reason, all maintenance doors look like shit for no apparent reason. I don't know why. It just is. Maybe because you bang.
It's the last thing anyone in maintenance wants to fix.
Yeah, and like you bang into it with like
fine.
your tools and shit you're bringing into the room, I guess. And another
Fuck this door in particular.
The last door you see says holding cells, and then you reach the top of this ramp and you see this large window looking into the refraction chamber, and another set of doors that say north wing, kind of double doors that they cap off the end of the east wing here. But yeah, you guys see a door to the refraction chamber with these huge windows as you're like banging on them. But behind you was the holding cells, maintenance, and R&D doors. And inside of the refraction chamber, I should point out, there are another set of doors. Ed, as you kind of like look straight past this weird device in the center, you see Northwing written on this set of doors here as well, where you are.
Oh, that's where all the other creatures were brought after that one creature freaked out. Like you read.
Yeah. Right.
Like you read out loud while reading to yourself.
Yep. That's all that stuff that was wrote on the clipboard. I remember that perfectly.
Can I look in through the holding cells? Is there like a window in through those doors?
Yeah, there's a little tiny window. Give me a perception check.
While he's doing that, I want to check out R&D.
Yeah, for sure. Do a perception check as well.
Yes, sir. 29.
Holy fucking shit.
Jesus.
A
A 19 plus 2 for my guidance plus 8.
Fucking insane. What did you get, Chad?
16.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna
A
start
more
with Chad
reasonable number.
because 29 is insane. R&D. Yeah, Chad, you know what? Chad, I think you're like kind of the perfect person to roll pretty well for R&D, if I'm honest.
Oh no.
There's a bunch of creatures feeding on like a group of small children. And he looks in and he's just like, man, more asbestos.
You guys want a beer? Hey?
Opens the door and then like looks in, slowly closes the door.
Got one
don't wanna go
non-alcoholic
This isn't where I
left,
parked
bro.
my asbestos.
Yeah, Chad, you open this this door that leads into R&D, and it leads to a bit of like a little airlock, and then you close the door behind you and open the door in front of you. Through, and you see actually above you like these non-functioning like sprayers, like kind of like
The decontamination.
Yeah, but like they're like the 80s one, so it looks like a normal like old school fire alarm thing, whatever.
It just looks like one of those
Yeah.
sprinklers.
No, they look
on the
like
front lawn.
fucking high fogs. Goddamn high fogs.
It's like the hayloft.
Yeah, there's the small airlock there, and you see a multitude of desks and metal top work tables scattered around, small wheeled stools pulled up to some kind of tipped over and laying kind of randomly. There are a few old monitors in here as well that are kind of in various positions. Some of them are actually set up on desks, and you see like some of the like cabling and wiring and stuff like that running to them. There are a few kind of cabinets and stuff here. A lot of desks, like drawers and cabinets and all that good stuff. And you see kind of like, again, everything looks kind of cleared. This room doesn't seem as frantic, but you don't see much. There's actually like some crumpled paper on one of the cabinets, near one of the cabinets, like on the floor, like a couple of pieces of crumpled paper. And that's kind of what you observe when you walk in with that 16, like the little airlock, and then a bunch of like little work tables and computers and stuff and cabinets and all that stuff.
I will pick up those crumpled papers and see what is on them.
Yeah, you go up next to one of these cabinets and it bites you. No, it's not a mimic.
Yeah, shit, it's a mimic. Didn't even think about that.
I didn't put mimics in this campaign. That's not a spoiler.
Modern D&D setting.
Yeah, mimics. Well, there's a lot of them out there. They're D&D podcasts, I assume. they could do the mimics. The cabinet itself, there's actually one of the doors is creaked open, and you see like lab coats inside of there. And as you like kind of bend down to pick up these papers, you like kind of unfurl it. It just seems like one seems like a research report. It even has that kind of, it's like a formal document, like research report, and then it's penned in which number of the research report. And the other paper, as you unfold it, seems like a personal note written by some of the people that work there, presumably.
I would like to read it.
Yeah. Which one do you want to read?
Oh, the personal note.
The personal note. Jerry, subject 3 was here for examination and injection as per usual. Normally they don't say anything, but this time they looked up with those sad, sullen eyes and cracked a smile. I asked them what they were smiling about, and they said they met with a friend last night. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and I've already double-checked with security. The feed shows nobody left the room. A small amount of interference, but maybe we just need to get maintenance on that. Subject 3 was convinced they were out running with their friend. They described dark, open fields with a gray sky. The only thing that mattered was the experience. They said their friend was also stuck here in the facility, but they found out that they could spend some time in this dark field space. Subject 3 mentioned that their friend asked them if they had a name, but Subject 3 didn't know what that meant, of course. They said their friend was very smart and explained the concept of a name, and that they wanted to give them a name while they figured it out for themselves. Subject 3 said their friend wanted to call them Lawrence.
Dun, dun,
Said it felt
dun.
familiar
You
somehow.
son of a bitch.
What if these kids are escaping to the Sixth? Some kind of astral projection? It has me worried. I'll bring it up to the uppers. If you think it's a good idea, anyway. I'm poring over the crystals all week. Dr. Finch, John, not Natalie, claims that they have almost a similar operation to a CPU, and they can be manipulated via these and it's like a bunch of ellipses. There's no better word for it than runes. Anyway, if you want to talk further, find me in the main chamber. I'll be running some tests with development to see if we can potentially use these crystals to create some form of automaton. Crazy times. And yeah, that's that note.
Signed, Glowman.
Signed,
Yeah.
G. No. It's a -V at the end of it.
Glowman.
Vloman.
So sorry, it said that subject 3 wanted to be called Lawrence?
Subject.
Or subject 7?
It said subject 3's friend wanted to call them Lawrence. So
Okay, so the friend wanted to call 3 Lawrence.
Yep.
All right. And anything pop out on their research report other than like data and numbers?
It says this is from the late 80s. No, it's not. It's from, I should read, 1984. Research report
1880s.
116. Things are going well with the experiment. The infusions of Subject 7 gave us a lot to work with. We were able to create an injection that may be able to grant a person an ability to pull elements from an adjacent realm and use them in unnatural ways. This is a huge step for human evolution. I wonder, the wonders we could perform with this knowledge is boundless. Our experiment will continue forwards. We will move into the final stages of development and roll out what we refer to as an immunization booster to the town below. A small price for progression, if you ask me. Not every citizen will be injected, of course, only a small handful. We'll need to do a bit of an A/B test. I expect only a few short years of experimentation will put us on the right track for larger experiments in this regard. Others are already utilizing some of the wonders we managed to bring back from that area. Some of them more terrifying than others. Point being, everything is on track. Expect a small test soon. And Ben, you
All right.
are over in the holding cells. The door is not closed.
I rolled a 29 on my perception check.
You rolled insane, truly insane. The pitch black room is really no menace to you with your illumination.
I have flame hands.
My notes say using the emergency light outside, but you don't do that. It looks, as you take a look, it looks like rows and rows of kind of like stacked, almost like containers, but they're built into the wall. So it's like four feet up is another container, and then another 4 feet is another container, and then it goes up to about well, obviously 8.
Did I just walk onto a Maersk the cargo ship?
Yeah, it looks like a fucking cargo ship. And then like the top one would be like 8 feet to 12 feet is like another row of these square-ish doors. All of them have like this thick plexi, and the doors are built into them as well. And you kind of see like these cable tubes running through, built into the plexi, and then they come out to each individual door itself. And then it goes on for about 50 odd feet, 60 feet, and then one huge area at the back with a kind of like just a normal sized door, like, you know, like a 7-foot door or whatever. This wall also thick clear glass with some perforated air holes in it as well. And it looks like something is in, as you kind of like walk through this room, getting closer and closer, and your hands kind of flickering and reflecting off like all of the plexi is kind of casting this weird reflection inside of this room. It looks like something is like in the far back corner of this massive holding cell at the end. And when you get up,
the second I see that, I'm going to use my telepathy and shoot back to all 3 of them, just like kind of quick one after the other.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say there's someone upstairs.
Yeah, you do that. And when you get close enough to this door that you're in like reading distance, you kind of hold up your hand and you see across this cell, it says Discovery A marked on it.
Discovery A?
Yeah. And all the other cells seem empty. With a quick glance around, no, you like.
Does this look humanoid? Does it furred, scaled?
With the 29, it looks kind of like it's curled up in a corner, in the far corner, like as far back as it possibly can get. It looks like a large, skinny dog with like jagged, sharp features. And it kind of, its head sort of with the angle looks like some kind of wolf skull with like hollowed out eyes. It does almost seems like it
hollowed out or sunken?
Like sunken, yeah, like sunken eyes. It doesn't seem like it has fur or like its skin is really tight to it. If it is fur, it's like kind of like a bulldog or something. You know, that really fucking short fur type. I don't know the technical word for it, but anyway. And then as you're kind of looking around with this 29, you see these globules of the Sixth Arcana are actually kind of prevalent in here. You got a little bit distracted, but they're floating up higher and taking longer to disappear in this room. And the hum is way louder. The floor is actually shaking a little bit.
Roll up my sleeves so that my tattoos are showing a little more, and use my telepathy, and in Druidic just ask, are you the protector?
Interesting. You ask, are you the protector? You see movement, but it looks very slight, like there's almost no energy left, you know what I mean, like in this creature. You don't get a reply. Wait, is this the kind of skill where they understand what you're... What is that sending? I think that's sending, that they understand your intention or your...
I'm a double check my features and traits.
I think that is sending. It's worth a check.
Da-da-da. You're able to speak telepathically to any creature as long as they share a language.
Oh, okay, yeah. It receives that message. Like, you can tell it went somewhere to this thing. But then there is no kind of a slight amount of movement, kind of weak movement to it.
Okay.
This is all I'm picturing right now.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to utter another druidic word, which is going to heal him.
Oh. Yeah. You
before we have to fight it.
You cast heal.
It was like, good idea.
Yeah, and you see it kind of move a little bit more. Certainly had an effect on this thing. What's everyone else? Ed, specifically, I guess Ed and Anne, because you guys are down with Paige, also in the refraction still.
Once Ben said there was someone upstairs, I think I'd be heading that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
We probably let Paige in on it too because Ben didn't message her.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You guys start running, and Paige like, "What's wrong?" And she like looks behind her. She's like, "What's happening?" And she starts running. There's like a metal staircase going up to the second floor of this area, and you guys go through the door that's at the top. And then to your left, you see north wing doors there. But you guys kind of like turn. You guys are facing this hallway going down now, and there's 3 doors on the left holding maintenance and R&D.
3 doors down on the left.
I think Chad would have grabbed the lab coat and run out the door towards the room that Ben is in, and hopefully seen them in the hallway as they were coming to.
Yeah, I like that actually. Chad's in a lab coat, runs out through the door.
The longer you guys take to get to me, the healthier this creature's going to get, because I'm convinced this is the protector, and I'm like, oh, this is my mission. I totally have to help this guy.
You all like burst into the R&D room to see like Ben like channeling his druidic powers,
like pumping healing energy into this fucking bone
little
wolf.
Black globules floating up higher in this room, very reminiscent of the Sixth Arcana where you were. And as you run in, Paige like stops for a moment, and she almost like it's like a realization, or she's hit with something, and she's, my gods, she like walks up and like places a hand on as like kind of next to you, Ben, as you're doing your druidic magic. She's like, this poor thing, I can feel the Sixth Arcana from this creature. It's, even with your healing, it feels. And she looks at Anne. She's like, I think it's dying.
Well, better put it out of its misery.
I reach over. No, pal. He's my dog. I'll do it.
That's my boy.
Paige is like, I've seen similar creatures in the. I sometimes refer to them as hunters to myself. Me and Oracle every now and then would have a conversation about them, and they usually kind of packed creatures that hunt through the Sixth Arcana, kind of picking off anything that might be living, or they have fearsome abilities when they're together. This one, unfortunately, it's very sad to see. Maybe they've been drained, or I don't know.
Did you say these things hunt you? Yeah.
Paige points to the massive scars on her face. She's like, yeah.
So maybe we just leave that in there.
Yeah, let's
Wait, this isn't the protector?
No, Ben.
I don't think so.
Paige is like,
I think it's the exact opposite.
It's not the protector I know of, and sadly, while your healing is certainly doing something for its wounds, I think it's beyond your approach for magic. I'm fairly certain it's quite literally on its last legs. I don't think it would live for much longer. It's been here quite some time by the looks of it. And this
So
place.
should we just kill it?
I will telepathically tell it, I'm sorry for trying to save it. I thought it was chill.
And everyone now
So
still even
we kill
feels the floor almost vibrating below you. The hum has not gotten worse. You've just, traveled further into this facility. Now it's like the floor itself is kind of like vibrating slightly. I just shook my camera.
How do you get up to the top, like the higher cages? Like, are there ladders?
Yeah, there's like
Is
an
it
old librarian.
like an old library ladder
Yeah.
type thing that you can.
100%.
Oh, okay. Can I take a look at some of the other ones?
Yeah, we'll stick with that 29. It seems like some of the doors are actually open still, and you can see they're all empty.
All empty. Okay.
Hey Ben, are
Paige,
you
why
friends
is
with that?
this? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask if you're friends with. Are you friends with that Lawrence guy? Or was that Ed? Anybody
Loman
friends
was
with
friends
Lawrence?
with Lawrence. I don't think anyone's friends with Lawrence.
Oh,
The
well.
frog dude was.
I feel like Dale might feel like he's friends with Lawrence.
Dale
Oh,
thinks
fuck
everybody's
Dale.
a friend.
Oh, well, then never mind. Got a piece of paper here talking about a Lawrence, but it's okay. Put it back in my
I
pocket.
mean, it's a pretty common name.
Lawrence is that hippie you got completely blitzed with when you first met us.
Yeah, he was in your guys' group. I thought he was part of the team.
He's like a satellite to our planet.
Hmm.
In a lot more than one sense.
All right, well, he may have gone to the Sixth Arcana before with Subject 7, but I don't know. It might not be. You said it's a common name. I don't know. I don't know any other Lawrences. So,
Man, there's like fucking 4 Larrys at the Bethyl house every other day.
Larry, yes, but Lawrence? There's only one Lawrence in Null Shore.
there's the Lawrence.
And you guys haven't seen Lawrence, and you haven't seen Gloman since you guys kind of teleported back from the bar scene when you guys went forward in time, and then Paige broke the barrier to pull everyone back through. Gloman kind of dropped off the map around then. Lawrence, you haven't seen even since before then.
What do we know about number 7?
They were being treated with something from this dog monster, I think.
And they were the only one that kind of developed a personality, getting mad, being called Subject 7, wanted a name. And on this note, it found out that Subject 3 found a friend who wanted to give them a name, or wanted to know what their name was. And that friend called Subject 3 Lawrence, and he said that they would disappear to a darky hill, landscapey place that sounds like that awful lighthouse Sixth Arcana place that we went.
Arcana.
Yeah.
And on this other report, I pull up the other one. It seems like they are experimenting on the town, but possibly using crystals, kind of like maybe what we use to go back in time.
Paige pipes up. She's like, "Yeah, they're quite frequent there, but it seems like when you take those crystals from their natural habitat, they develop this connection back to the Sixth Arcana. So that's why I was able to manipulate at that time that we did happen to come across these. But
so I mean, I think they were using these injections to. It said they wanted to evolve the human race into something more that could pull elements from another realm.
Hey, Anne,
Mm-hmm.
are you able to do any, like, transmutation spells? Is there any way that you can attempt to kind of reach through the glass there by our bony wolf friend and try and manipulate some of that Sixth Arcana? I'm just curious since, you're infected.
You're infected?
Well,
Is
she
it
was. I'm
contagious?
saying infected because it's unknown. Like,
She's got the asbestos.
she was inoculated, so
Kind of explains the zippy zap.
I don't know. What were you to what end?
like, I can manipulate the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know if you had anything like that would allow you to do anything that you could kind of try and focus it on. I don't know, just try and focus your magic on or your juju, I don't know what you call it, on some of those globs and see if you can kind of like change anything about it. Call it to you.
I mean, I'll try.
Does I'm just wondering if they're saying that it tethers creatures to the place, or I don't know if it's like a two-way thing.
Yeah,
If
I
it can be
mean,
called to you, can you call it to it?
I'll stand and like focus on my my necklace that has like my focal point on it and try and like picture those black globules that you showed me and see if I can sense them.
When I see her grab her symbol, I'm gonna be like, no, try and do it without that.
I hand her the vial of black, whatever.
Okay, I'll take that.
Ivermectin.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna focus, I guess, and see if I can sense any extension of Sixth Arcana-ness.
Yeah. How about
I'm gonna give her a guidance as well.
As you're having this discussion, Paige kind of like she was kind of leaned down with her hand on this glass where the animal creature was. She gets up and kind of like, as you're kind of focusing with like Ben's guidance, she kind of like reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder as well, and then you see all the black globules kind of like now gravitating a little bit towards you. Give me Arcana with advantage. Arcana is a very rare thing we don't roll very often in this campaign, despite the name of one of the realms.
Oh boy. Oh, I have guidance too?
Yes, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Okay.
I love
21.
I love it when rolls follow story.
Hell yeah. You, as all these black globules are like floating towards you, Paige kind of takes a step back and you see them kind of like swirling, almost like a wind now, like a vortex. And then you kind of like focus on the poor waning creature beyond the plexi, and you see like all the globules slowly, without even resistance, passing through this barrier of sorts, and then they start to form like this weird kind of circle shape, and all of a sudden, Ben, you hear that familiar noise you heard earlier, this, and you see erupting in behind the glass. You see this thing land all out of nowhere. All the black globules scatter through the walls in all directions, like a shockwave drove them all the way. You see getting up slowly, this emaciated, human-looking thing with long fingers that point off in the claws. Huge,
wait, this thing that I healed?
No, huge spindles or huge spines coming out of where its elbows are, reaching 3 or 4 feet. Its ribs showing as it stands up 7, 8 feet, rights itself, and looks absolutely featureless face, kind of reminiscent of some other things you've seen in the Sixth Arcana. And you hear this noise echo out in all of your heads, this like, you see it turn and grabs this thing from the creature, from the corner, and throws it at the plexi, which splits and cracks, and then and it disappears, and in a flash, the room is empty and this poor creature is dead, laying there.
Man, I think you can stop concentrating.
All of a sudden, all the lights, emergency lights that were on, just go, and the humming stops. The vibrations stop below you. And it's pitch black except for Ben's hands and Ed's headlamp. Thank you for listening to the No Fame podcast. The best way to support the show is simply by listening. You're already doing it. Amazing. Thank you so much. Second best way is by interacting with our social media and spreading the word. Check us out at No Fame Pod on most platforms. Lastly, you can check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/nofamepod, where for as little as a toonie, you can be supporting the show. How fun. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you later on. Maybe something else that was in this facility was drawn to what Anne was up to.
It was feeding on the Sixth Arcana, but Anne wanted it.
I wasn't going to introduce that thing until if you guys came across that creature, but then you guys were like, let's focus and pull like the globules and Sixth Arcana magic, and I was like, well, this thing is going to fucking be drawn to this for sure. Hell yeah, fuck yeah, do it. Roll well.
This whole time it's been Arcana.
What? I missed that. What happened? I'm an idiot. We can stop the...
No, it was just really hard to hit because Arcana and Anne are very close.
Arcana.
Oh, yeah, I missed that entirely.
I know. Listen, it was very hard to differentiate that.
I'm happy I didn't stop the recording because that'll be our after the episode segment.